Well, time now to get tonight sport with Amy. I am guessing quite a few people have spent much of last night and this morning planning their transport arrangements to Germany.
I was going to say, I bet there were a number of offices probably around the country where not a lot of work was being done because everyone was online looking for flights to Germany. Yes, thanks very much, Laura. We're going to get to Scotland in just a moment, but we're going to start with the return of a familiar face to Dingwall. And Derek Adams is the new manager of Ross County after Malky Mackay was sacked last week. Adams has left Morecambe in the English Football League and returns to County for the third time, 9 years after his last spell in Dingwall. County haven't won any of their last 8 games and they sit 11th in the Premiership. Adams' first game in charge will be against Kilmarnock on Saturday. Earlier, I spoke to the new Staggies boss and asked him what convinced him to return to the Highland Club. Sticking with football, and the Scotland head coach Steve Clarke has challenged his players to consistently qualify for major tournaments after a magnificent campaign ended in slight disappointment as Norway scored a late equaliser in a thrilling 3-3 draw. However, it didn't really matter in the end, as Scotland had already secured their ticket to Germany next year with 5 wins from 8 qualifying games. And it was that fantastic start that did secure qualification. Only 1 defeat in there, that game away to Spain. And these are the final Group A standings. That's what the table is looking like. Scotland runners-up to Spain and with 17 points. They will be in pot 3 for the draw in Hamburg on the 2nd of December, and that means they'll avoid other pot 3 teams, names like Italy and the Netherlands in there. With 7 months to go then until the tournament kicks off, what now for manager Steve Clarke? Sticking with European qualifiers, and England are facing North Macedonia in their final fixture in Group C. The head coach of Spartans Women has called for an urgent review into medical procedures at all SWPL games after their player Becky Galbraith had to wait for over half an hour for an ambulance following an injury during their match away to Aberdeen yesterday. To rugby, and Scotland captain Jamie Ritchie says he hopes the squad can take the lessons from their disappointing World Cup campaign and use them as motivation for next year's Six Nations. Yes, before we know it, we're going to be talking about the Six Nations. We'll be here like that.
Absolutely.
Have you recovered from last night, Amy?
Just about 6 goals. Was not expecting that, but we can relax because Scotland, we'd qualified well before last night, hadn't we?
Finally, we can relax.
Need to chill out like Steve is.
Yes, chill out.
Bit of chill out.
That's where I'm
we're all,
going right
we're all
now.
right, guys.
Thanks,
Cheers,
guys.
Amy.